Hello, I'm Keldarks, and welcome back to Space Engineers Never Surrender Apex Edition. Last time around, we got the flying brick in the air, did some scouting, started setting up a base on the nice frozen ice lake, and I want to start today by getting the rest of the refinery and assembly built up, so I'm airborne now to pick up some food and head straight up to the salvage centre to pick that up. Do still need to find proper ores, so I'm thinking as I pop by each of these large grids, I'll put one of these seismology things on, and I'll get an idea if there's any ores near any of them to start the search from. Large seismic survey. Oh. Anyone of these was still in? Haven't been attacked in a while. Getting around that problem, I've just placed one straight on the floor with the LCD and a solar panel. Now let's try it. Okay, so it's found 3 deposits in the area. So that's going to be the silicon over there behind the unknown signal, which is that cluster to the left. So there's something else mountain way and something else back that way. What I need to do is work out how to put one on this thing so I can scan periodically in those directions as I go. Nothing local to here, so let's head up to the salvage and start getting the parts. This thing just might not work on stations. As much of the assembler as I can. Fly this over, see what exactly I need for the refinery, come back and get that next. Yeah, back at the ice lake. Refinery first, probably. Also, I can't finish the refinery because that's still in pieces, full of the other side, whereas the assembler is completely dismantled, so I should start there. Aha, that'll work. Just assembler. It won't live there permanently, but it's for now. Right, that's the assembly. I'll fly back to the other side again. I spotted that a bit too late. The cargo was pretty much full. It's just the refinery and this battery left. Thinking I might try and grind down the battery to as close to this line as I can get. See if I can hack it. If I can, it'll only cost us a couple of cells, if any. So I'm going to give that a try. Let's get this. Let's get the lesser grinder and try this. So one power cell, and I might be able to claim this battery. Okay, back at the lake. Oh, glad I can reach that. I didn't think about that when I built it all the way up there. Finish this line. What do you need for 2 motors? Nickel and iron. Okay, detector components. I've got nickel in them. Now, okay, let's turn our trip back. I kind of accidentally left the food at the river basin, the lake basin, as quick as I can here. Load this back up. I didn't bring the computers or anything, but I can check to make sure it's a ship. And we're not disconnected from the refinery. Yep, there you go. That's ship. Okay, cargo's full. Cargo's full. Let's take this lot. Should be enough to build the refinery and just get that when I come back for the battery. I wouldn't try to load the battery with a full cargo, I think. Very useful ore detector. There is indeed ice in that ice. Good when you get the underground pocket so that it scans on the ore detector. Where's that food? Was it? There it is. Suppose the question is, can I put a bed down, wait through the night time and let that recharge? So this isn't going to be its permanent place when I build the actual base out. But I'll wait out until the battery's charged and then go back to it. I let the engineer lie in their bed far too long before remembering the battery's never going to charge because this thing doesn't have power yet. Let's see if we can weld one of these up. This one as well. Yeah, but it's going to charge a little bit still. Really, I need to raise one of these. Oh. H2 gen and an engine. No, let's just fly this thing over and get the stuff from the starter area. Materials from there. Let's go back for that. Fruit seeds and vegetable seeds. When the sun comes back up, I want to check how far. I think it was roughly that angle. I could just go look at the battery's charge before that's ready. This time I'll come back when the battery's ready. I've got a sunshine now, so should be able to check that scan. Oh, not enough. I think the arrow starts on what's straight for this block. Maybe if I rotate the screen. That makes more sense. So that's the silicon, that one there. So I've got something halfway between a quarter and a half turn. I think if I rotate the scan, you now have buttons to change this. So I want to go right, 45, and again, and 5 twice. And put it right in the middle. And if I change this screen to detailed scan, that looks like iron. Perfect. That's what I want. So I'm back at the base first. And somewhere around about Bearish. Okay, still falling, and I need to twist a little bit more to the left. This is 1.5 kilometers so far, so I guess I'll go about a kilometer and try again. Okay, I've got 2 deposits close to here, so I'll have to put the scan buttons here and find out which one's which. Check the left first. You seem to be iron. Oh, that looks like magnesium, so I should definitely tag both. Okay. Going in the right direction, but I've only got about half the right distance. I'm slightly past. So close. I forgot once it's scanned, I can check on the screen still for a bit. Oh, so a flash of it there. Right, GPS the magnesium. Something I don't normally do, but given that I haven't been able to get a rover around here very successfully, I'm just going to put a description. Steep hillside. Find that for now. Let's go find the iron. Hoping if I land near the flattish bit and then drill into that hill, I'll be able to get some easier than trying to drill downwards and nerf jetpack. GPS this one as well. Okay, have iron. I'll load up the whole brick with it. That's the brick full and my inventory full, so it's going to be in it. Back to the lake. Back to the power. I'm going to have to temporarily let this use its battery. That's better. Got the stone. I think for an ideal world you need more than 1-to-1, but it should at least give me a trickle of power. It's filling well outputting, so it's fine. What I need to decide is where I want to put the ice drill and where I want to put the sort of habitation part and the food production. They all need designated areas before I can really start bringing this into shape. I think I'll put a food chute off this way from that assembler. I'll be the hinge for building. This place needs a name. Any suggestions for a name? Put them in the comments below. For the meantime, I'm just going to call it Lake. I won't name the blocks yet. I'll put TBD. I'm not necessarily worried about, but I quickly ground this off and rebuilt it so that the open side of the conveyor is along the top of the walkway. There's the azimuth with the solar. Well, it's nighttime. I want to go to the other base and start picking up the food production to bring here. Alright. We'll keep doing that until I get around to putting an event control up. If I put an event control on the flying brick, I'm going to feel too much like I'm keeping it. I've been having some thoughts about how to do the moon exploration mission I mentioned on the previous episode. And what I was thinking is, rather than building what I built last time I tried with this, which was my Cartnick 1, I'll put a link to that and maybe show it on screen briefly. But the problem with that one is it had all of its own propulsion. Whereas this one I'm thinking, if I send up a single body in the middle, I could have 4 antennas. Well, I could have 4 satellites strapped to one launching system. And hopefully that means only having to launch twice to get the full range of the moon, if I'm right about it being 8. It might even be less, because I think the moon's closer on this scenario. Right, let's go and get the algae farms. And what I want is everything is so... all the algae farms in and the advanced rotor. Let's see if I can get some of the materials. I use that, I don't need it. Not put the rest of the windows on this time. The rest of the glass on this time. Okay, so just build this exactly the same way I did on the other side. What I'm thinking for now is just build this exactly what I had on the other side, and I can worry about expanding it or adapting it later. There's all the algae farms rebuilt. Now connected to the burner base. Stand that up. I need to go and get more resources from the starter base before I can turn the custom controller on. So I'll go start emptying that out now. Got a couple of runs to the other base, and on this last one I did take the solar. I'm just going to see if I can stick them on there here or not. I don't know if you can with these round ones. Oh, I can with the DLC solar. What I should probably do is leave that for now, take off these round ones during the next night, and just put solar and the flat ones. Well, let's have a little bit of extra power during the day. Oh, and I didn't want one of the... Oh, I have the solar panels as well. Let's set it up and turn the custom turret controller on. Ah, I don't have a camera. No, I got there. There's a elevation. Camera which still needs a name. Fix these. Oh, is it what's on? There we go. I'll go back to the last of the other base. I'm going to stop every few kilometers and do a scan, try and find nickel, and that'll tidy off the last of the urgent resources. Okay, found something to the right there. And that looks like cobalt. That definitely needs checked and tagged. Cobalt 40 meters. I definitely. Yeah, how much space two turbines and the refinery take up before I think about taking off the survival kit? I've made sure this is all connected round with steel frame. Do not need the refinery. Should I gravel? Oh yeah, plenty of space. Let's do this. It's a good job I didn't turn the battery off this time, because I disconnected that without thinking about that. That is the starter base fully disassembled. I will now be doing the most careful flying back I've ever done. That was my only survival kit. Survival kit needs to be built somewhere. I haven't enough connection for it anyway. Survival kit on this base. Ladders. Space. Yes, I now check where the original trading post is going to be skewed. That's probably planet side. I should check that out because if they don't know who SCIV are. No. Worth checking them out and see if they sell the stuff I'm missing. I might be able to trade for the nickel. Also, that little tiny dot is through the mountains there isn't another planet in the distance. That's Europa. When I was flying over before, I noticed it's Mars is just behind the left peak. So today I managed to get the majority of the salvage base brought over, just a few steel plates and battery left. And the starter base has been entirely scrapped down and brought over. Found iron, found magnesium, found cobalt, So it's been quite a productive day. So with all that being done, thank you very much for watching Never Surrender Apex Edition. I'll see you on for next episode. Hopefully we can find the nickel, build a farm, and start designing the satellite gnome system.